What's good? What's good? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? It is time. It's time. Who's out there? Let's see. We got Mike Gunzo75. What up? All the way from Laredo, Texas. All right, Gunzo. We got Malulu Manta. We are excited to watch San Antonio, Texas in the house. Shout out to San Antonio. My niece is out there. Inspector Nacho. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you coming out. Got a special guest for you guys tonight. But before we get into it, can y'all hear me? Am I loud and clear? Well, I got my ads and everything going. Let me see. I think my guest just came in. Man, I'm gonna get into this story. I posted something in I forgot. Shay says hi. Hey, what's going on, Shay? Love you guys. And I forgot to mention it when I said I was going to talk about it on the show, and I forgot to. So my bad. So story time. All right. So I'm in Fort Hood, Texas. Maybe I don't remember, we were out on mission or something. But me and my battle buddy, we shared a room, and I came in from somewhere, and he had his music blasting, and we had those bunks, right? So I was like, this dude's music blasting, he is clueless right now. He don't know I'm here. So I was like, if you grew up in my household, it's kind of a tradition to that we go about pulling pranks and scary pranks, right? So this prank, I said, you know what? I climbed under the bed. Why did I decide to do this? I have zero clue. It was just their opportunity. So I said, I'm gonna climb under the bed, right? And so when I climbed underneath the bed, I reached out and I turned his music all the way down. So I see him come out. He peek his head out of the showers, and he's like looking at his stereo system. It's one of them old school, like, joints. Well, not probably one like old school, but it was still, he had some pieces to it. And he looked out and he was like, "Oh man, what's going on?" So he come back over, he looks at the machine, and then he turns it back on. Stands there for a while, and he's just like, "Okay, cool, it's working." He goes back, he gets in the shower, and I think I waited about a minute or so. I'm trying so hard not to laugh. And then I shut the music all the way back off again. This time I can hear him almost stumbling out of the shower. He's like, he's rushing to come out. He's like, the power didn't go out, but the music went off. And so we get it. He gets in there and he goes, and so he looks at the machine again. He pokes it a little bit, and then he turns it back on. He stands there and he look at it again. He's like, "Yo, okay." And this time when he goes back inside, I turn it right back off. He comes over and he looks at it. And this time when he turns it back on and he gets ready to go, I reach out from underneath the bed and I grab his leg, right? And I start pulling him underneath the bed. And he's screaming, right? The horrible part about this story is my battle buddy stutters really bad. And so he's screaming for help. And he's stuttering, screaming. And I'm laughing. And yeah, I'm probably the worst person ever. But there was this video clip that came out that reminded me of that. So I'm gonna shout out to Christical. I ain't gonna say his real name. He's gonna come up on here and he'll identify himself. But shout out to that dude, man, because that was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm rolling. I was hurting so bad. You ever have one of those laughs so hard where it's like you feel like you just did an ab workout? Jewel Junkie says, "Greetings. What's poppin', Papa? What's going on, Jewel Junkie?" Yo, shout out to the Jewel Junkie where they add $5. Add style to your smile, $5 at a time. And all of the fiercely favorite bling bosses in the crew. And we're going to get to it, man. I thank y'all for coming out and joining us for the show. And I want to say, what's going on to my brother from another mother, Armon.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
Doing well, doing well.
Let's see if I can
Just
get this thing up. See if we can see you. There we go.
Good.
Yeah. I see you I see you rocking the A. You see I had to rep.
No doubt. I figured you was gonna come. I figured you was gonna come with the Bulldogs. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna come with the Braves joint.
All right. Hey, I can't be mad at it, brother. Hey, my brothers, this is my brother on so many levels, man. This is we brothers from another mother. Hey, look, bro, I'm gonna tell you, one of my soldiers, he's like, I need to see when the CMC gets on here because I want to see the resemblance. I was like, it's in the blood.
It's in the blood.
It's in the blood.
No doubt.
It's deeper.
No
it's
doubt.
deeper than you. It's deeper than I can explain, brother. But you know, I just want to say thank you for taking this time to spend with us. I know you out there in sunny Hawaii.
You know it.
And you're a busy man, so thank you for coming out, spending some time with the crew. And I know you got some stuff going on, so as you transition, just let me know. And
No doubt.
yeah, and everybody out there, this is my brother Armon Owens. And so he's gonna open up. He's gonna tell us, who are you and what do you do, brother?
So I am, like you just said, Armon Owens, Master Chief in the United States Navy submarine for 24 years.
24. Man.
24. Yeah, it'd be 25. Be 25 in 2022, and we'll see how long I continue on with this journey. I'm still having a good time, still loving it, still love adding value every single day. And you ask who I am somebody that is a 51-49 type of person. With every interaction that you have with me, it's my life's call to make sure I give more than I receive. So that's who I am.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. All right. Now, how do you know me?
Listen, you talk about years, years. So not only do we share a love of each other, but we also share a love of Christ. And we happen to meet through his son. It's like what? Like we're me and my wife are youth pastors, and son goes back home and is like, hey, so how are you into it? What's going on? I got to come to see what's going on in this church. And they come down and we hit it off over a lovely spaghetti dinner.
That's right.
Over their house, and it's been on point ever since. Ever since it's been on point. Playing basketball together, ministering together, just breaking bread on every occasion. And I mean, this has been decade, this is decade plus right here. So yes. It's been awesome.
Yes, bro. Out there in lovely Virginia Beach, Portsmouth, the Seven Cities. Hey man, I'm telling you, Marquise. But so we were wondering like, yo, why is this dude so interested in going to this church?
Yeah,
we got to find out why this kid is going to church, because he was in and out of Groundation. The only reason we let him go because like it's church. He said,
"Yeah,
Mom, Dad, can I go to church with I think it was Ty." He said,
"Yeah,
can I go to church with Ty?" We was like, "You ain't going." No, yeah, absolutely. You can go to church. Yes, please go to church. And then he kept going and going, and he was going on like off days. And I'm like,
absolutely,
yo.
Absolutely. We was trying to we were doing some different things, having a good time, but it was always about Christ. So
absolutely. The Inspector Nacho says, "Go Army." All right, Inspector Nacho. Look, Hey,
I see that Go Army. I'm just saying, what was the results? What was the results of the last game though?
He said it's not about what just happened. It's about what's been happening over the last couple of years.
The last couple of years? Oh, you want to go? So what
we just gonna stick to
what
the
about
last
the last 20 years?
Just the last 2 or 3 years. Look, we can't bring up old stuff. Just some old stuff. Just semi-old stuff. Jill Junkie's laughing. She said, "Yes, we love y'all." All right, bro. So you gave us a little bit, but tell us some of your ties to the military, bro. Look, you from Georgia, bro. What ties to the military pushed you into the Navy, bro?
So it's funny too, because I did not have any influences. I didn't have any military influences in my life. Funny story. I did not find out that my grandfather served in the Navy until about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Because, so my family told me it was always the Army, the Army, the Army. And come to find out, I get his DD-214, and he served in the Navy during World War II. I'm like, and I never knew.
That's crazy, bro.
Never knew, because he died. He died when I was about 5. So okay. I never really got a chance to know him, deeply. But I come to find out he served in the Navy. But everybody else in my family served in the Army, and it just so happened that a recruiter comes to the school, and I'm like in the midst of these decisions. Am I going to go to school right out of high school? I'm slightly arrogant, and by slightly arrogant, I mean extremely arrogant.
Look,
and
true serum.
Absolutely. And I'm trying to figure out, so I did well in school, but I didn't want to take that same level of arrogance, that same level of conceitedness into a college environment because I felt like I was gonna squander it.
Right.
And then I started looking at the landscape of just jobs and how people are getting hired. It was like, you got to have experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, I can get experience first and then come back on the backside, or while I'm in, get my degree. And by the time, 6, 7, 8 years is up, I'll be in such a great position to do what I want to do. Cause I didn't even, and at that time, I had really no idea what I wanted to do in terms of job. I knew I liked computers. I knew I liked technology. I knew I liked electronics, but in terms of a career, I had no idea. So I was like, I'm gonna join the Navy, get some experience, grow up a little bit, ask you a lot, grow up a lot, and go from there. And 24 years later, I'm still here.
24 years later. You got the experience.
I did get the experience. I got all the experience I needed. And, so it worked out. But once the serving aspect of this job is really what kind of captivated me in staying in longer, just because I had some really, really strange experiences on the way on this journey, just in terms of some not so fun racial interactions, some really, really bad leadership. And that's what actually the bad leadership aspect is what kept me going, kept me serving, because I was like, man, I don't want nobody else to be subject to some of the bad leadership that I was subject to.
Absolutely.
So I was just delusional enough to believe that I could help
make a difference.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, just delusional enough to believe I could make a difference. And I felt like if I could help one person change, if I could help one person see that you can be demanding, you can be the stalwart leader that sailors and soldiers need, but you don't have to be a curmudgeon about it. You don't have to be an a-hole about it. You don't have to treat people like crap. Right. Because nobody wakes up in the morning and is like, you know what, I'm gonna do a really horrible job today. Nobody does that.
Hopefully no one does that. There's that one person that exists.
Yeah, maybe.
It's one out there that's like, I'm gonna make somebody's day really bad today. It's just
absolutely. And I don't want to treat leadership, challenges like it's a grudge against the person that may have been presenting that challenge.
Right.
So the whole thing for me is like, treat people like people, give people grace, honor people without judgment, but also challenge them in a way that helps them recognize hey, you got another level of you. There's another piece of you that you haven't tapped into yet that's going to propel you to where you want to go, or put you in a place where you never thought you would be able to go. So that's the thing that I want to be able to do, to try to help add value. I told you, 51 to you, 49 to me.
All right, so look, obviously you've been doing something right, because you're at the top, right? You've been a couple places. You got your own leadership deal that you put out, and you're giving out some good information. I'll let you highlight that later. But at what point did it click for you? Because I know when we all come in, like when I came in, I thought I was going to be a professional basketball player. This was just a passing. This was just a symptom. It was like, I'll do this for a little bit, but I want to play ball for a living. So at what point did it click for you that you know what, this I want to do this. I want to make a difference, and I want to be that change.
Yeah, it was in a dark time, I would tell you. So like I alluded to, I had some leadership challenges on my first submarine, the USS Oklahoma City, back in the early 2000s, and one of them, so the CMC, or the Cobb of that submarine, had some that was the gist of some of the the racial interactions that I had, and I was in a very dark place just based on the fact that I didn't think I had any advocates. I thought I was by myself because of that hard time, because of those challenges. It kind of solidified in me as like, I want to change the landscape. I want to change the complete framework of how people are treated, because in the submarine force, I don't know if you know, there's not a lot of brothers in the submarine force.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of us, right? So we're definitely kind of the outliers, right? And a lot of times people don't take the time to get to know you, don't take the time to understand who you are. So bringing who you are to work sometimes is a difficult thing.
Okay.
And I wanted to, and because of those hard times is really kind of the genesis or the spark, so to speak, of me want to continue going forward and continue to, to do this, because people have so many uncovered gifts that is within them, have so much to give, but maybe on the surface, somebody looks like or acts like they don't have anything to give. And truthfully, I think we all have something to give. One of my favorite quotes is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. It says that every person that I meet is my master, is my superior in some way, and in that I can learn of them. So it allows me to honor every person that I meet without, it allows me to honor every person that I meet without judgment. So, it was in those dark times that forged this idea that I can be of some change, that I can be of some help, and that's what I've tried to do. And I knew that I had a natural gift of leadership, just based on how I grew up and some of the things that I did. I'll play sports just like you. I didn't think I was going to play basketball professionally. I didn't think I was that good, but I did think I was going to play. I did think I was going to play baseball, baseball professionally, because I was that good at baseball. Hence the A hat. But because of that, having been the captain of those teams and being the voice in the locker room, so to speak, it just kind of came naturally to me. It's something I took to, and I knew that was something I could add value to other people. So that's what I just started doing, and it and people started taking to it. Luckily, because I didn't want to be a leader that nobody didn't want to follow. So people started following me. So I figured I was doing some stuff right.
Yeah. Now they didn't start following you because you got ranked, though, right?
Nah.
They started following you.
Yeah, I mean, that's one aspect of the submarine force, and I think in the military, just in general, you are able to grow. You are able to exert and to bring your full self to bear in whatever you want. Right? Just because I was an E5, but I led a full division on the submarine. That's a spot that she was relegated to the E7 to the chief, and I was leading that full division as an E5. Now I wasn't leading it very well because there were some things that I needed to learn along the way, but I learned them along the way because I knew I had to. When you got to get a nuclear submarine underway and you were one of the primary divisions to help that process, you got to do what you got to do. When the captain looks at me and is like, "Hey, what's the status of these things so that we can go do our job?" I got to be ready with an answer. I got to be ready. I have to make sure that my team is ready to go. And doing those things was, like I said, that was not an easy thing, but I got to tell you, I grew up so much.
Yeah, bro, that's good stuff, man. So with all of that stuff, man, tell us what are some of the pros and cons of the time that you served being in the military?
Man, you're gonna have a hard time for me to talk about the cons. I am supremely blessed, supremely grateful, for everything that's happened. That's the good and the bad. And that's really the key, right? It's not about the circumstances. Like, the circumstances are irrelevant. It's who you become. It's who you become as a result of the circumstances and how you ultimately respond to those circumstances.
Yes.
So I gotta tell you, man, because just like I talked about, the bad stuff is what got me. The bad things is what compelled me to continue to serve. So the pros, but one of the main things is that you get a chance to grow. You get this opportunity to find out who you really are. You get this opportunity to find out who you are in the midst of challenges. because sometimes we get these challenges later on in life and we shut down, and we break down, and we crumble under the weight of what's presented to us.
Mm-hmm.
But in the military, we get these challenges really, really early, and we get to find out like, oh, this is what I'm really made of.
Right.
And the cool part about that is the proof that you get of getting through it. Because if I know that I've gotten through that hard thing that I was uncertain of whether or not I was gonna make it, and I made it through it.
Yeah.
Oh, now I got proof. So when the next obstacle come up, when the next mountain come up, I'm like, oh, I already did. I got proof that I can overcome anything.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So you get that proof early on, in your experience, and that serves you forever. Like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still living off wins from 1998.
Yeah, bro. The first ones, right?
Right.
Yes. Like, I'm with you.
When I thought that I was not going to be able to make it through, but like I already got proof.
Mm-hmm.
I already got proof. Like when that emotional state of uncertainty starts to kind of overwhelm and tries to overtake me, I'm like, whoa. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
No, I already did this. I'm good. Right. So having those challenges come early on in life gives us so much of an advantage later on in life when you have kids, when you add into your family, and when you start to branch out into other things that you want to be a part of. Like you already there's no worries there.
Yeah.
So you get that built into your foundation, and it just becomes a part. And so overcoming just becomes a part of you. It's
right.
Like, this is who I am. Like, nothing can top me. What else? I mean, just the connection, the networking of people, mm-hmm. the human dynamics of learning the ins and outs of those relationships, because they're forced on you.
Right.
Like you don't succeed without the team.
Right. So you have to
acquiesce. You have to make sure that you're checking yourself to make sure, hey, it's not about me, it's about the team. Mm-hmm. So just those things alone makes the pros supremely outweigh any cons.
Jelly Bean says
yeah.
That's right. Jewel Junkie shout out. Yeah, bro, yeah. That's good. You say that, and I was just talking to a couple of the soldiers about something similar, that the unique thing about the military is that we grow our leaders from the bottom up, and yep. You get those opportunities to. One of the things I love about leadership is that if you do leadership right, you're providing an environment where it's okay to fail, right?
Yeah.
You don't continue failing at the same thing, because if you have that environment where it's okay to fail, then that is also an environment of growth. And when you have that environment, you're creating this team and this culture where people they're not afraid to come in and give you their opinions, their thoughts. They feel like they're valued. And when you're doing that, you are creating a dangerous machine, right? Because the smartest people surround themselves with smart people, right? And if I could surround myself with smarter people than me in their fields, and they feel like I value their opinion, man, bro, this thing is gonna shoot to the moon and what they say, what Buzz Lightyear say? To
infinity and beyond.
Yeah, infinity and beyond, brother. Hey, that you preaching over there, man. I might have to pull out the offering plate in a minute.
And you said it right. The job as a leader is to facilitate an environment where other people can be the best that they possibly can be, right? Mm-hmm. You're creating a safe space, psychologically safe, and an autonomous space, so that people can be the best possible people that they can be, right? You're not out here trying to be, dominating, out here trying to be, somebody that is going to try to lord over people, because that's not the job of the leader. The job of the leader is you're facilitating the space. You're facilitating an area where people can be the best possible person that they want to be.
All right, bro.
And
So
that's not an easy thing.
It's not. It's not. That's why you have managers and you have leaders, because some people are not leaders.
Yep.
Some people are just managers. I'm gonna give you this task and you're gonna manage this task. But a leader, you're watching over the whole thing. You're facilitating, you're growing, you're training your replacements. And that's what a lot of, like, when you look on the outside industries, a lot of people, that's the difference between military leadership, is that for us to be successful, I got to train you to replace me. Because if this thing can function without me, that means I can go and leave and not have to worry about it. Right?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I don't want you calling me when I'm on vacation. No. No.
No doubt.
I am not that. What they say, don't create an environment where you are not irreplaceable, but what's that saying, bro? It's where
well, you can't be replaced. Well, you can't. Well, you've created a situation where you can't take leave. You can't go on liberty, where it's all dependent on you. Where it's single point failure. You become a single point failure for the mission, for your people, whatever task, whatever circumstance thing that you have to put forward.
Yeah, I want my lowest level leader to feel confident in executing mission command.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. All right.
Hey, bro, I made it to the house.
Okay.
So if you give me 2 minutes, I'm gonna shift over to the computer. All right.
I'm gonna shout out to talking to all my people where y'all watching from, man. Talk to me. Where y'all watching from? Who we got in the chat room? I see we got the Dirty Birds, Parrot and Castreba. I see we got Gonzo. You still in there, Gonzo? You still with me? I know Sergeant Majors from Bragg be acting up. Well, they don't all be acting up, but you know, they got some good Sergeant Majors out there. You got some good leaders everywhere, but we just gotta make sure that we're doing the right thing. And QD Boss Martinez, Georgia. Zay Burner 24 from San Diego, all the way from San Diego. Who is that? G's? Bronx man. Oh, I know. Hold up. If that's the Bronx man I'm thinking it is, hey man, appreciate you coming out and supporting your boy. Shout out to the Bulldogs, man. That's what I'm talking about. Georgia all day. Yeah, Gonzo. Hey man, we still here? Hey, good stuff. That's what I'm talking about, man. San Antonio in the house. Man, we all over the place, man. I need y'all to take a second to subscribe. You know, help your boy out. I'm trying to get up to my viewers, my 50 viewers. I'm almost there, but I ain't there yet. So go on and subscribe, man. Turn on them notification bell and checking beers at the PX on Saturday. Yeah. I won't lie to you. I was actually looking forward to harassing people once I got up to Sergeant Major. That's probably why they didn't put me up there. They said, man, you be acting up. You be acting crazy sometimes. But that's when I was young and high strung. And then I drank the Kool-Aid, and I learned about what leadership is about. And that's taking care of soldiers. So, you know, as Jewel Junkie said, like and subscribe. I appreciate you, Jewel Junkie, for helping me out, because I be forgetting. And then when y'all get a chance to, go on over to the YouTube page and check that out. I see a lot of people going out and they watching Spider-Man. Anybody watch it? Anybody check out Spider-Man? I was supposed to have been going today, but I didn't get out as early as I wanted to. So we're gonna probably go check it out tomorrow. Probably get some sushi. What y'all having for dinner tonight? That's a Jewel Junkie Live famous question. What's for dinner? We had Big Ed's, man. Shout out to Big Ed's, man. Probably the best barbecue spot you go. Hey, look, San Diego, y'all watching? Who is that? Zay? Look, hey, my brother's back. Look.
Back at you.
Hey, I was just giving a shout out to Big Ed's, man. The barbecue spot we took y'all to when y'all came down, man.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, man.
That was good.
They good, right?
That was good. Oh yeah, no doubt.
Big Ed's, man. Shout out. Hey, and I don't want to get into a whole bunch of stuff, but just keep those guys, for all those people that believe in prayer, man. Hey, keep them in prayer. I think Big Ed is having surgery, so everything goes well and they can get back and open the store back up. All right. So.
Oh, they had to shut it down?
They're gonna shut down for about 2 or 3 weeks. So I think next week they're gonna finish through Christmas, and then they'll be coming back like well after the New Year. But yeah,
Okay.
hey look, Zay Burner 24. That's my soldier who put me on to Big Ed's. This fool brought me a plate of barbecue, and I was like, nah, I'm good. And then he was like, just try it. You gotta try it. He bought me some burnt ends, and them things was fire.
Yeah.
I wasn't even. It was cold by the time I got to it. It was cold, and I still destroyed it. And I'm like, yo. And then I found out that he bought that daggone plate for his pregnant wife, and she wasn't acting right, so he gave me the plate.
What?
I said, man, I could beat you upside your head, man. He's like, she wasn't acting right. I was like, you don't do that. You don't give me the plate that you was supposed to be giving to your baby, fool. But shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. You know, he put us on. I do appreciate it. And she understood. So they laughing. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys. You do owe me some push-ups, though, because you ain't hit me back, fool. And we're going to talk after this. Huh. So anyways, back to my brother. That was the intermission.
Yeah.
All right, bro. So you've been doing great things on the military side, but you also been doing a lot of things on the civilian side, bro. So man, talk to us about being a small business owner and all of your different ventures and the lessons learned, man. Well, school us up, because there's a lot of people in here who are interested, they scared, but they want to jump out there, man. Talk to us.
Yeah, so also just amongst other things that I'm interested in, one of the biggest parts of my personality is that I'm an entrepreneur. And this goes back to when I was, had to be 5 or 6 years old, going through a neighborhood, seeing how I could, mow lawns, clip, pull weeds, whatever the case may be. I remember when I was 16, I started working at Chick-fil-A. And Chick-fil-A,
shout out to Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is probably one of the freshest places just in terms of where you get your food. Because if they make a sandwich that day, they don't put that joker in the refrigerator and redo it. No, it's gone. Like, they throw it in the trash can. And I worked late, so I would take those sandwiches that was made before we closed, that was left over, they were just gonna throw in the trash. I would take them and put them in my bag and sell them at school the next day at lunch and get gas money for my car. So just a little bit. I've started, somewhere in the range of about 10 to 15 to 20 businesses over the course of my time being in the military, and obviously I had to stop some of those businesses just based on the fact of my rotation. So I had to go back and go out to sea. But most recently, I haven't need to, because I've been primarily on shore duty because of my job as a command master chief. I've had time to, to really cultivate this latest business. And one of the cool things about about being in the military is that you have a lot of leverage. You have a lot of leverage in the military. You're getting paid, every 1st and 15th, yes. Right? So you can take some risk with your investments. You can take some risk with how you pursue things. You can dabble in a lot of different things, right, and really nail down how you want to move forward, because capital isn't really that big of a concern. So I started off early on doing network marketing and all those type of things, but I wanted something for myself. And network marketing gave me a good foundation for business, just because you realize that not a lot of people understand business or marketing. Network marketing is not networking, or it's not marketing. All you're doing a lot of times is, calling people that you ain't talked to in the last 10, 15 years, and then bombarding them with something that they might not even want. Right. Well, you learn some lessons over time about how to really cultivate a business by going through those, treading those waters. Mm-hmm. So because of some of the lessons that I've learned in network marketing and starting businesses, service businesses, my actually latest business is a watch business. So during the pandemic, me and a good friend of mine were just kind of talking, because in the submarine force, in the U.S. submarine force, there is not a signature watch. Every other nation, Germans, Italians, the Russians all have like a signature submarine watch. We didn't have one. The British as well. So we just kind of, he was like, hey, we should, what if we made a watch, a submarine watch? And I was like, say no more. I went and started doing my research and looking for manufacturers. Went through a ton of manufacturers because I wanted to make sure that it was going to be perfect, because I wanted to make sure the quality was commensurate with the service of the submariner. Absolutely. So, and this is one of them that I'm wearing right now. It's called the Mid Watch.
Tenacity.
Yeah. So the name of the company is Tenacity Watches. You can see the submarine emblem on the top and the Tenacity at the bottom. It's an automatic movement. Has the engraving, the submarine engraving on the back, if you can see. But right now in our line, we have 5 watches that are currently offered. TenacityWatches.com.
Nice.
And we've been let's just say it's been a good year.
It's been nice. Yes.
It's been a good year. But I will tell you that a lot of what I've learned in terms of managing a business, in terms of just being professional, are all things that you gather along the way in the military, because the attributes that you pick up, the integrity that you pick up, the honor that you pick up, the commitment, all these things that are just beat in you. These are the same things. These are the same principles that equal a great business person. Because you learn to treat people with respect, because you learn to honor people. You learn to do things the right way the first time and not give people crap. You don't have to learn those lessons the hardest way possible because you're already doing it, right? So you're going into it with an advantage. And I think military veterans make the best business owners and most successful business owners, because we already have a foundation of doing things the right way, because it's just the right way of doing business. Right. Not because somebody's watching or anything like that, but just because we're doing it the right way, because that's how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Hey, I think I just had a special guest drop in, bro. I think there's a young lady that's about to make me a first time grandpa just stepped into the room. Shout out to my daughter. I think I just seen her come on in here. Go and drop something in the chat, man. I appreciate you coming out and my grandbaby, y'all coming in and checking on Papa Gift.
No doubt.
And my brother Armon, yes, dropping jewels on us. Hey, bro, you got another Atlantean in the house, an AT-alien in the house. I forgot to mention, Jordan with the Zay Burner 24.
What's up, Jordan? What's up?
That joker's from Atlanta too, man. That's the one who gave me his wife's food. Hey, young couple, man. I think they're gonna do great things out there. They just gotta settle down and then just buckle in, because they both hungry and they both grinding. Dual military. So shout out to
dual
those
military.
guys.
No, that's how me and Ty started out. Dual military.
Exactly. And look, she says, "Hey y'all, laugh out loud. What's going on with you? How you doing, girl?" I could barely catch you on the phone. I should have figured I can get you on social media. Love ya. All right, moving on, bro. All right, so if you could change 3 things, it don't have to be in any order. 3 things. What would you change and why?
3 things, and this is just, we're talking about just an expansive conversation here, just like in terms of like wherever I want to go, what I want to change,
right? And whatever multiverse you want to pick out of.
One of the things I wish I could change is just people's heart in terms of service. Because we think that, so our natural human innate behavior is to seek to get things for ourselves. But the truth of the matter is that true success comes from serving. True success comes from giving, right? If I'm put myself in a situation where I'm always hoarding for myself, there's only one person that's benefiting, right? But when I give to any and everybody, I'm just adding more people to the network that can ultimately help me get to where I want to get. Because no one achieves true success by themselves. You can't do this thing by ourselves, right?
Yes.
So that's why for me, you're gonna always win more when you're dealing with me. You're always gonna get more from me than I get. I'm gonna give everything I got. I'm gonna give you way more than you expected. I am like I told you, 51-49. 51 towards you, and in some cases it may be 53-47, whatever the case. But that's the lowest. But 51-49 is the lowest that I'm going to go, because I don't want to be 50. I want you to get more in your interaction with me than anything else. So if that's one thing I could change, it'll be the harder service, right? What else? What else do I wish I could change? I wish, I wish everybody. I was about to say I wish everybody could fly first class.
No.
Just as a random.
That was very random, bro.
Why though? Why?
Why?
Right. So I got the opportunity a few years ago, right, to get to a point in my life where I could do that. And it's funny because they just treat people like people in first class.
It absolutely.
It ain't different. Like it ain't like it is not super. They just treat people like people. Like, why you can't treat everybody like this on the flight? Just because somebody somebody is in coach don't mean they less of a person. Yeah. Anyway, that's just me. Like that's super meta. Like just rant. Oh.
Bro, I'm with you all the way. Because I'm like, yo, it's just a little bitty thing right here that separate us. But you can't ask me the same way you asked me when I was sitting in first class. Really?
That's what I'm saying, man. It ain't hard. This is a person. This is not a seat. This is not a ticket, right? This is not gas. This is a person. Let's just treat them like people. So like that, like I said, that was just super meta. I haven't thought about that one at all. And what else?
The agent said, "Don't do me like that." And Marquise is on. Marquise, what's going on?
What's
Keith?
up?
He said, "Hey, Dad and Mr. Armon, I just wanted to pop in and say what's up. I'm proud of you guys a lot. Keep pushing, keep grinding, and keep growing. Most def agree that true success comes from giving. Y'all talking the talk tonight. We always talking the talk. I'm glad you listening.
No doubt.
Look out.
And then I'm gonna go selfish with the last one.
Come on.
I wish that on a couple of Super Bowls back my Atlanta Falcons would have ran the ball. Our Atlanta Falcons would have ran the ball.
Our Atlanta Falcons.
That if I could change, so those are three things. That last one, I know it's super selfish.
That ain't selfish.
For us. But I wish the Falcons just ran the ball.
I wish the coach would have lost his playbook at halftime.
Man, yeah.
I wish a lot of things. I'm like, I won't get into the conspiracy theory in that thing, but
that would have been nice. I will. So I was underweight. I was underwater for that Super Bowl, man. So
really,
I'm glad I am glad that I didn't see that in real time. Yeah, I was underwater, and we were getting, we got an update. We got an update at halftime. And we got an update after the game. So we didn't get any context. All we got was just a score. So I didn't get a chance to look at the actual game until we pulled into Norway. After we pulling in. So yeah.
All right, bro. So you just segued into my next question, man. How subs, bro? How? I see. Okay, so Navy is one level. Like, okay. How did you go Navy? But you went from Navy to submarine. You're a submariner. How, bro? That is, if you've never been on a submarine, if you don't have claustrophobia, you are likely to develop some form of it because it's so compact inside of there. I mean, you guys have to really designate stuff for like everything. I went in to do an inspection with one of my soldiers, and I'm like, get me out of here right now. I couldn't focus because it was so tight. I did the ship router with no problem, and that was a smaller ship. I mean, it wasn't like a small boy. I was on a carrier, not a carrier, but a transportation. And so that was, shout out to the Spiker, the USNS Spiker. I ain't got my hat down. I'm gonna pull it down. But man, how you get into submarines?
Yeah, it's a pretty uneventful story, man. Like, so my recruiter was a submariner, and he told me. So I was initially going to be a nuke. I was just going to be a nuke submariner. And so I was taking the test for all that. And then the senior chief in the recruiting station came out and was like, hey, man, I don't know if anybody has told you about the lifestyle of a nuclear submariner, but it's not an easy one. So he's like, I would do submarines, still go the electronics route, but the nuke side. But he came and briefed me and, talked to me about that. But yeah, man, it was essentially, hey, hold on for just a second.
Yep. It's QD Boss. You got 2 free tickets to the Falcons game on Sunday if anyone wants to go. Jill Jucky said we do. We do. Chase said y'all not gonna be here, but you can have them. Jill Junkie must know something I don't know, but we'll talk. We'll talk.
But yeah, so we get extra pay for being on submarines. So he told me about the extra pay, and then he talked to me about just the accelerated investment too. So I was like, sign me up. And yeah, I remember going down there and being like, man, so this is the decision I made for myself, huh? Hey, I wanted a challenge, so
that's a challenge. But did it ever mess with you? Did you ever kind of feel like, when I was on the ship, I watched a lot of people go stir crazy when we were underway for like, it was like a month was like the longest where we were just out there floating. And people literally start. I found out why they had the Steel Beach barbecues.
Yeah,
so makes sense.
My personality, man. And you know me. I never stopped. I never stopped moving. I never stopped doing anything. So I had to qualify. Had to get all these different certifications. So I just never stopped moving. Mm-hmm. Right. So I never even had enough time, to go stir crazy because I never stops. I just always going for the next qualification, the next certification. I was go. I did not stop.
Yeah.
So I never gave myself an opportunity to go stir crazy. I ain't started taking a break till I got out here to Hawaii. Because it was the first time. It was really the first time in my career where I didn't have to qualify anything. I didn't have to certify anything because I had already done everything.
Right.
So I was like, even now, like while we're on kind of holiday stand down, it's like I don't know what to do with my hands. Like,
he say, what do I do with these? What movie was that off of?
Yeah.
Was that Will Ferrell? Was that him?
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. All right, so yeah, I want to say, hey, thanks, man. You saved me when I went out for my first one, because look, you gave me a ton of music. And bruh, this is back in the day when it wasn't it was like, whoo! If I didn't have that music with me when I went underway, I would have been in pain. The music. That's what kept me sane. Yeah, that's what kept me sane. The music always kept me sane, man. Yeah, and then even bigger shout out, because it's like when I want to know what's out there, what's hot, I hit you up my random message like, what you got on the
no doubt.
What you got on the iPod right now?
It's the same way though, because you be putting me on the stuff too. So yeah.
So all right, bro. So tell me this. Tell me one of your most memorable experiences.
So 2002, October 2002, we were on deployment, and we were coming off of deployment, and it was extremely successful deployment, and everybody's happy, everybody's in a good place, and we're on the way home. We had just left Italy, had a wonderful time in Italy, and we're on the way home, and because we're in such this winning state, right? And there's a message in this, right? You have to finish the drill. You have to make it through the finish line.
Right.
You cannot let up. So we were in this, this super happy state, joyful state, because we had done so well. We were going to get the top submarine award when we got back home, and we had a transit that we had to make it through the Strait of Gibraltar. So that's the difference that's essentially the outlet going from the Mediterranean Sea into the Atlantic Sea. Right? It's a small opening, and you talking about millions and millions of ships traverse, this pathway.
Right.
And so we briefed that we were going to do X. We sat down and talked about we were going to do X, and at the last minute, we changed it to Y.
Mm.
And as we're going through, we're coming up to periscope depth. And for those of you that may not know what periscope depth is for a submarine, that's when we come up shallow and we raise the periscope so that we can, number one, so that we can communicate. Number two, so that we can see. And that depth varies from anywhere from about 50 feet to down to 70 feet. And when we come up the periscope depth, we communicate, we get our messages, we do all these things, right? Well, there's a very dangerous transition because now we're coming, if we hadn't tracked our contacts the right way, then we can be on a collision course with somebody that we can't see as we're coming up the periscope depth.
Wow.
Turns out we didn't do what we're supposed to do. So we're coming up the periscope depth, and then a natural gas tanker from Norway, boom, hits the submarine.
Whoa.
I am thrown from my rack out onto the deck, like looking around, trying to figure out what just happened. And I run up to our control area where all the operations are happening, and come to find out that we just got into a collision. We had to turn back around. We get settled, make sure everything is good. Everybody's, no, we didn't have any casualties. Nobody got hurt. But we had to turn back around and go to Italy, and get fixed. And that's one of the most memorable times for me in my career, because the lessons that I learned from that, they serve me every single day. Number one, to be ready for the just to always be ready. Always be thinking about what's the worst case scenario, and what would I do every day I go to work. Because of that instance, I'm thinking about what could happen, how I respond. What's the worst that can happen? How can I respond? What do I need to make sure that I'm prepared for? And number two, to make sure that I am always in a situation. I'm always in a situation that I'm not resting on my past successes. That I'm not resting on, since I did this good yesterday, I'm obviously going to do this good tomorrow. It don't work like that.
Right. The
same work that I put in yesterday to achieve that level of success, I got to put in even more work. You got to keep going, right? One of the things that you hear people say all the time is that, hey, you got to grind every single day. And I will say this: well-oiled machines don't grind.
That's right.
Right? So you got to make sure that you put in the work, that your machine, right? Your machine,
yes,
who you are, is well oiled.
Yes.
So so you don't got to worry about grinding, right? You're putting in the thoughtfulness work. You're putting in, the hard work. You're putting in the work in the gym.
Yeah.
All those things. You're cultivating those things every single day, right? And taking time for yourself, taking self time, that matters too, right? Getting the right amount of sleep and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Right? But taking that time to do those things the right way, so that you're not grinding, right? So that you're well oiled and you're ready for the next thing that happens. Because you just never know. When I was a CMC of the shipyard, we had an active shooter situation come up.
Oh wow.
And I will tell you that when things get dark, people go inward. They start thinking about themselves. They don't think about the greater expanse of how is this one decision that I'm making going to affect everybody.
Right.
Because here's the deal. During that situation, it wasn't reported as an active shooter. It was reported as shots fired. And this is coming across a communications channel. One of the things in the submarine force that we are super over the top about is communication. It's saying the right words. There's one word that we never say unless it actually is that situation over a communications path. And that word is fire. That's why an active shooter is called the way active shooter, not shots fired. Because what happens, people hear fire and think fire. Well, what happens if I have an active shooter, but I got people responding like it's a fire? I put people in harm's way.
Yes.
So because I'm like, hey, so I walked into a room as this communication was happening in the control room. I'm like, hey, that was not a fire. That was shots fired. We have an active shooter. Do not send your people. Do not send that emergency management team because you're putting your people in harm's way.
Right.
And because of that, we did not put people in harm's way because I'm always trying to make sure that I'm ready for any situation that happens. So we didn't put any more people, in harm's way because of that, right? So yeah, just have to be ready. Have to be ready.
Woo, bro, that is. He said, okay. Kesey said, I'm proud of you guys. I love y'all. I'm about to leave to the store. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you all. And Mike said, oh snap. Said you dropping knowledge, bro. So
appreciate it.
So one of the things that stood out for me is that what I understand is something that I always tell my guys is that we create train responses. That's what we're doing. We're creating a train response. And when you were saying that, yeah, people say you grinding, and I hear and I understand it, but when you said that, it makes sense too, because a well-oiled machine does not grind. And if you think about it, when people try to learn how to drive a stick shift, what do they say? They say grind them till you find them. Yeah. Don't grind my stuff until you find it. And they don't have them jokers at the rental car place where you can go get it and rent it and grind it till you find it, right? Exactly. Shout out to my daughter who was grinding them gears and grinding them all the way down. Dad, I think I burnt it out again. But hey, look, yeah, man. So I think that's a very good point, is that when you are training and you're preparing, and just like you said, a part of that preparation is also taking care of yourself. We call that the performance triad. It's where you're taking care of, mission, self. That includes sleep, spirituality. It includes everything. What you're eating, all of that stuff goes into you preparing and creating this environment where you are creating a train response to make sure that mission is taken care of. So man, that was good, bro. I love it. That's a very memorable experience, by the way. Look, I'm gonna tell you. You said this thing about this about the active shooter, bro. I was the S2 in San Antonio. So after I finished operating as the senior platoon sergeant, drill sergeant, Sergeant Major was like, he came and he was like, you interested in coming to battalion? I was like, absolutely, Sergeant Major, for sure. Come on, hook your boy up, man. I done did this thing for a minute. Come on. So I get in there and I'm still the senior platoon sergeant for that company, but I was doing most of the job at this time. And so the brigade comes down and they're doing their MICPs, their inspections to make sure stuff is going on, right? And so I'm literally out with the my career counselor. We're checking all the different companies, their boards, making sure that they're doing all their stuff. And bro, the sirens go off on Fort Sam Houston. They go off and I'm like, okay, people are running across, dashing across the fields. And we're at the shop at, she's getting ready to leave. And I was like, all right, look, Master Sergeant, you go ahead. I'm going to go back because I'm the S2.
Yeah.
And so I dash across the field. I finally get to the headquarters building, and I see these two privates that are in training. They'll send the ones that are waiting to go into training or fail out of training to sit at the front desk and just be there, right? And so I go in, and they're standing there, and I'm like, what's going on? They're like, it's an active shooter. And I'm like, we got glass. It's a glass door. It's all glass. And you just told me it's an active shooter. What does our SOP say? Everybody get into the vault, please. Why are you standing? If active shooter comes here and you're standing in front of this glass, you're a dead man, dead woman. You're dead. Absolutely. And it was like, oh yeah, we thought we had to post the guards. Active shooter. Bro, come to find out, I don't even know. Look, let's just say that they had not created a train response for that. After that event happened, then there was a working group that was initiated and all this great stuff. So you would think that at higher levels that these things would be in place and that they would have already created it. But sometimes you don't know until you don't know that you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, bro.
that's crazy, bro. That is a memorable experience. I seen in my head when those two submarines collided, like in the movies, man. I'm like, if a submarine touch anything, it blows up. In the movies.
Nah, yeah, I know. Yeah, not so much.
That's crazy, bro. That is insane. And so, do you guys have the seatbelts in your rack? See, when I was in the when I was inside of the on the ship, man, we had like this seatbelt thing on in there, and I'm like, why is this belt across? They was like, you'll know when we start rolling.
Yeah. So so on the surface, right? So on the surface, you get you get caught in a storm, right? So you got heavy seas, right? So to stay in your rack, they have they'll have them. We don't spend no time on the surface. All our time is underwater, so we don't need those.
Man, so y'all don't feel all that stuff under the water?
Man, no.
Really?
Not unless it's a hurricane, man.
Okay, that makes sense.
So if it's a hurricane, we can feel it at about 300 feet, but it's still like you're talking about maybe 10 degrees each side, but nothing substantial. Yeah. Wow. We go under that mess, man.
Well, shoot, maybe no, I couldn't have did it, bro. I stayed busy, but I was.
Oh, you could have. Yeah, you could have. Yeah, you could have. It just once you get past that first, kind of underway, and you go through, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Nah, let me get to work.
Look, Jill Junkie says, so it's smooth like that. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
All right, bro.
You don't even recognize it.
Give us a life lesson.
A life lesson. Let's see here. I got so many, man. So many. That's really a good question because I'm trying to. What's the best one I can give? In this moment. That's the best thing that I can. The best lesson I can give right now is this, right? We have these things that happen to us, and they're called stimuluses, right? So whatever circumstance, whatever thing that happens to us is a stimulus. Well, right after that stimulus, we have a choice, but most of us don't recognize that we have a choice. We believe that the stimulus directs our next action.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But in between the stimulus and our response to that stimulus is the ability to choose. You got a couple of seconds there. You got a few seconds there to take a breath, figure out how you want to respond to that situation, and then respond to it.
Right.
Don't allow the nature of the stimulus to determine the nature of your response. So I never said that anywhere. So I will write that down. If I had a pencil or pen right now, I'll write that down for myself. Don't let the nature of the stimulus determine the nature of your response. You have a choice that exists within that time frame.
Yeah. Look, Jill Junkie said that's money. Excellent.
So here's an example. We're driving in traffic and somebody cuts us off. That's the stimulus.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple of seconds in there to respond, but what ends up happening is that because the stimulus, the nature of the stimulus is something that has made us upset. So that anger dictates our response. So we respond in anger. Well, if I gave myself a couple of seconds to say, you know what, maybe this person has to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
That changes my response. I've given myself the choice to choose what response I want to have. Do I want to give grace or do I want to choose anger?
Yeah.
Because if I choose grace, then I say, it's not that big of a deal. I can keep it moving. The person didn't hit me. I'm going to be a couple of nanoseconds later than I would have been anyway, which is completely irrelevant.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal. So that choice leads me to a good path. But if I choose anger, if I let the nature of that circumstance, I let the nature of that stimulus determine the nature of my response, how bad can it get? If I get angry now I'm blowing my horn.
Yeah.
I'm telling them, and they've had a bad day. And instead of just going on and it happens, everything happens normally, they stop the car, get out, and start shooting at your car.
Right. No one ever thinks about that part of it.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't let the nature of the stimulus determine the nature of your response, because you cannot predict what's going to happen, especially when you're talking about anger, frustration, things that really call a visceral response, give yourself enough time. Give yourself a couple of seconds to step back from that situation, breathe, and determine what kind of response you want to have to that stimulus. We have the gift of choice.
Right.
And a lot of times in those situations, in situations where we could have chosen a better response, we just didn't give ourselves enough time. That stimulus happened, and then we went off on a response.
Right.
Give yourself enough time, and that happens with your sailors, with your soldiers. Your soldiers bringing you some bad news, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the stimulus. What's your response?
Smack them.
Do you respond negatively and not give yourself enough time to say, all right, what is the nature of this? What is actually happening right now?
Yeah.
Like, what's the real thing that's happening right now? Take a second. Interesting. That's my key word. I say interesting to everything to kind of negate that visceral response that my body naturally wants to have in those moments. But I say interesting. Interesting.
Deflect it a little bit.
Yeah, to give me enough time to choose my response. Do I want to respond in anger? Right? Do I want to respond in a frustrated manner? Or do I want to respond in a reasonable manner? And the information that sailor or that soldier that is giving me is actually clouded by the real circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
And you, instead of responding, you say, okay, what's really going on?
Right.
Well, man, let me tell you, right? Give yourself enough time, to really choose your response. That's probably the best life lesson I can give in the moment.
That's good. Jewel Junkie says the key is remembering we have that choice to make. She love it. Inspector Nacho says shoot back.
Shoot back.
No.
Does that go back to being ready?
I guess that's being ready, man. Joe Junkie said no, interesting. And Mike Gunzo says wall to wall counseling. I still got that regulation, by the way. Yeah. We are essentially in control. That's right, Joe Junkie. All right, brother. So that's a good life lesson. Give us a leadership lesson.
Leadership lesson. Good leadership lesson is it goes back. So my leadership goes to the quote that I gave earlier from Ralph Waldo Emerson, is that every person that I meet has is my superior in some way, and in that I can learn of them. So with that. That does a couple of things for me. That quote does a couple of things for me. Number one, it allows me to give people grace, allows me to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? And it also puts me in a situation where I can remain teachable, where I'm not in a situation where I think I'm above somebody. I have the privilege. It is a privilege to be a leader. It's a privilege to lead people, right? This is not something that I get to lord over people with, right? It's a privilege. So I treat people as though they are gifts that have been given me, and not to abuse that gift, right. not to treat that gift in a way that is demeaning to that gift. So that quote is something that has guided me for a very long time. So it just allows me to honor people without judgment, and in that, right, that doesn't mean that I'm overly nice where people can take advantage of me. No. If you talk to the people that I've had the privilege of leading, they'll tell you I am extremely demanding because I know what you're capable of.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Because even because I know that you got something in you. I know that you have something in you that is phenomenal. You cannot convince me otherwise. Yeah. Right. And I know that you just don't know how far you can go. You just don't know because you've never been challenged in that way.
Exactly.
But I'm challenging you from a place because I know that you can be amazing.
Exactly.
Right. Not because I'm not challenging you in a demeaning way that speaks down to who you actually are. Right. I'm trying to push you up. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. They say that one of the beautiful things, I don't know, I think you was probably teaching this class. I don't know, but when we was breaking it down and they were talking about a seed don't grow until you plant it and that pressure is applied, right?
Yep.
So
it got absolutely.
you know that's
Absolutely. When that seed goes into the ground, there is pressure
Yeah.
that is applied, and nothing comes out of it until there's pressure.
Yeah,
So,
man. And so that's the part about leadership, man. So I try to get these guys to understand that it's not likership, it's leadership.
Yep.
Because you could have people like you all day, but when it's time for you to have execute, you know, and y'all friends, they're not trying to hear that. They're like, yo,
Yep.
we were just hanging out. We buddy. What are you talking about? Execute. We're not going there, Bob.
Yep.
But you could still be cool. They can like you, but they know and they understand and they respect that this is my leader.
Yep.
This is my leader. This person expects. You know, one of the beautiful things is when you're I believe a sign of good leadership is when your subordinates take ownership of you. When they be like, that's my sergeant, that's my squad leader, that's my platoon sergeant, that's my CMC right there, that's my chief.
That's it.
When your people take ownership of you and they want it's more important for them to not let you down than for them to actually, I won't say be successful, but they're more thoughtful of the fact of they don't want to let you down. I believe that when you created that environment, then you're talking about leadership, because they know that you're not going to do anything and take them anywhere that's not good for them.
That's it. Absolutely.
It's good, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. See, you be pulling it out, bro. I'm just want to talk about that. That's what you get paid the big bucks for, CMC. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, Master Chief. Come on, Master Chief. That's Halo, right? We're gonna go play some Halo.
No doubt.
All right, bro. We rounding them out. You ready?
Ready.
Give me 3 great leaders in your book.
Number one, Jesus.
Absolutely. Hands
number
down.
Number two, Nelson Mandela is a great one, and number 3, Joshua Chamberlain. Chamberlain was a Civil War. He didn't make it to general, but he was a Civil War captain at Gettysburg, and he is one of the sole reasons why the Union ended up winning the war. Amazing story. Just like for the people in the chat, write down Joshua Chamberlain. Google it. It's one of the most amazing stories you will ever read about. Oh yeah.
He said, CMC, come on, Master Chief. That's what they said. Look, Jill Junkie said, hey, girls, man, that's good. You've always been that guy. Great.
Appreciate it.
Look, top three artists.
Top 3 artists?
Yeah, what's your top 3 artists?
Top 3 artists. Number 1 is Prince. That's far and away. Number 2 is Michael Jackson. Number 3 is a tie between Sade and Outkast.
Oh, I like that. I like that, Ty. All right, hey, look, if y'all in the chat group, man, I want y'all to answer these questions too, man. All right, your top 3 groups, music groups.
Top 3 music groups?
Yep.
Well, so Outkast by far.
Absolutely.
Tribe Called Quest.
Okay.
And Lil Brother.
Little Brother?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Your Jill Junkie said the Root NWA and Roots.
Yeah.
You would say some NWA. We're gonna talk. We're gonna have a talk after this. Sade all day. All right, Gonzo. All right. Give me your top 3 lyricists.
Top 3 lyricists. Number 1 is Andre 3000.
Andre.
ATCQ. Number two is, and this is a close one, but so Black Thought.
Okay.
Is Black Thought, and number 3 Fonte from Lil Brother.
Okay. All right. So check it out, bro. What's the best movie this year?
Best movie this year, Spider-Man: No Way Home. By far.
Spider-Man. I gotta go watch it. Oh, hold on. Mike Gunzo says ACQ. Jewel Junkie says Tupac and Bizzle. All right. They just let me know, bro. We got an opportunity to hop inside of the time machine.
No doubt.
You get an opportunity to go back and tell yourself one thing. What do you tell yourself?
Do it.
Do it. Just do it. Nike. Don't think about it. Just do it.
Don't think about it. Like very few people have a predisposition to action. We think about it. We write it down. We're gonna do it. We're planning to do it. We got all these plans to do stuff and never do anything. Just like when I started my YouTube channel, it took a while for me to just to put it out there because like what, it's audacious for me to get out there and think that I'm going to speak with any kind of authority towards leadership. Yeah. When the truth of the matter is, I'm speaking my experiences, speaking what I know, giving what I, from my perspective, right? So taking the opportunity, I was like, man, just do it. Do it. With the watch company, just do it. With the business, just do it. Just do it. Yeah, just go, just do it.
Yeah. Shout out to Nike, man. All right. Hey, look, Mike Gunzo says, "Yep, just do it for real." And Jill Junkie said yes with a whole bunch of signals. I don't know what those signals are. All right, you just got in the car, bro. What's playing on the radio?
What's playing on the radio? Andy Mineo, the newest album, Neverland 2. Is
Neverland. Boom, yep. Love it, bro. Yes, I love that one. That joint's hot. I like Neverland 1 too. I still be rocking.
Yeah, I do too. I love Andy Mineo, man. Look, and the girls love him too. Yeah. So, yep.
Look, one of my favorite joints. That's none of my business.
What you say about me?
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yes, that's my theme song for the year, bro. I'm like, yo, if you don't like me, that's your problem.
That's your problem.
When I let it bother me, that's my problem. Yes, bro, I love it. All right, pull up your phone. What app are you messing with?
What app am I messing with?
When you pull up your phone, what app are you more than likely messing with?
Oh, WhatsApp. WhatsApp. Yeah. So, because I communicate with all my manufacturers.
Oh, business.
For business.
Yes.
Through WhatsApp.
That's what's up, bro.
I spend more time on WhatsApp than anything else. Yep.
All right, bro. You just rounded it out. You hit it out the park. Anything you want to say to the people?
Bro, I appreciate you having me, man. It's been awesome, man. The conversation. The questions intriguing. I hope that I'll add value to you and the people that's listening.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to doing it again whenever you invite me, bro. This is a good time.
Yes.
Sorry about the moving back and forth, but we got so many moving parts going on.
Yeah, man.
Here at the house. We have people. So our AC went out.
Oh wow. Okay.
So all the stuff you heard kind of in the background was the maintenance people kind of coming in and out and fixing the AC. So I think they had to fix our doors. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but I didn't want to cancel because we got stuff going on, right? I just make it work, right? So hopefully people didn't get too distracted from all the noise and stuff like that. So
no, bro, it was good. This is what it's all about. It's about life and us just doing it like you said. Joe Junkie said nice show. So no look, bro. You definitely will be back. Couldn't hear a thing. Jill Junkie said she couldn't hear a thing. And shout out to the Jill Junkie where they add style to your smile, $5 at a time. And the fiercely favorite bling bosses. Y'all get a chance. Check my man out. Tenacity Watches. What's the plug again? Where can they find you at?
Yep. So find me at www.tenacitywatches.com, and then all you have to do is go into if you want to see any of my leadership videos, theunsungleader.com. You can put in YouTube The Unsung Leader as well. You can find all my videos. And yeah, hopefully they add value to you.
Yes, they absolutely do, bro. And we will definitely have you back, and we will be doing this until the man tell us we need to stop.
No doubt.
All right, brother. Hey, what she said? She said www.tenacitywatches.com. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, yeah. So she just put the plug in there. Thank you so much, Jill Junkie. I appreciate you. All right, bro.
Appreciate
Hey,
it.
tell me what is this right here? I want to just say thank y'all for coming out to the show.
That is Def Comedy Jam.
What's this?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the ending. That's yes, sir. Dougie Fresh, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
The show.
Let's go.
All right, y'all. Hey, thank y'all for coming out. Y'all take it easy. Be safe. If we don't hear from you, well, hey, be back here on Friday because we got a double header for you guys, man. Y'all come on back out, bring a friend. Remember, like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. Love y'all.
Peace.